going to show you today how to make a stenciled and masked altered composition book. I made this one the other day for a photography class that I'm taking, and I went ahead and got just your 10-cent, 25-cent composition book. I decoupaged the whole thing with vintage book page, front and back. I got it all the way around, like so. And I used sandpaper to kind of like make the edges all perfect so that we can go ahead and stencil right over top. What I like to do is actually start with a little bit busier patterns underneath and lighter colors. So I'm going to just go ahead and use this new stencil from Creative Imaginations. I'm going to lay it down. And I think I'm going to use a little bit of yellow. I'm actually going to go against my norm and do something bright. So I'm going to go ahead and spray it. And I'm not going to cover the whole book. I'm just going to do a corner. You can kind of see it's just a little bit. And then I'm going to take and do a little bit of butterfly. I have little tiny baby butterflies. And I'm going to do those down in the other corner. And I'm going to do those in pink. And sometimes you might want to spray off to the side just to make sure that it's coming out good. And then fold it up, and we're just going to do a little bit, like so. Set that aside. And then we're going to do on the front, let's actually use the same busy pattern one more time, like so. And I'm going to use some orange on the front. We're going to make this very bright and happy. There we go. And you'll notice I'm just doing bits and pieces. That way you don't have to worry too much about overlappage and so on, because it actually looks better if it does have a little bit of overlap. And here we're going to do the pink butterflies again. I think I'm going to put them up a little bit higher. Put it down. And that is not pink. With a little bit of pink. And I don't actually mind about the overspray, because in the end I'm going to come back and I'm going to do some black mask and some black stenciling, which will kind of hide some of the mistakes that I made. And I'm going to do a couple more down here. I think I'm going to use some yellow. Shake it up. And we're going to go ahead and do yellow. Take this off. Right now it looks kind of chaotic, but that's okay. Because once again we're going to do some black mask over the top, and then that will kind of bring it all together. Okay. Alright, so we're going to let this dry, and I'll come back in a bit. Okay, now that this is dry, we're going to go ahead and do our black on it. And first I'm going to do some of the black damask. We're just going to set it down, and I'm not covering everything that we did, right? We're just going to do corners, or portions of. So I'm going to do the upper corner of matte black, like so, and then maybe a little bit down here. Okay. Lift this up so you can see I did portions. It's kind of cool. And now we'll do a little bit on this side. And on this side, since I'm going to plan to put an Eiffel Tower down here, so I'm just going to do the damask at the top. So I'm going to go like this. And I'm just holding it down. Eiffel Tower. This one's done by Creative Imaginations also, and I masked it off because I don't want any overspray. I want the tower to be really crisp. So I have one more piece of scrap paper right here that I'm going to go ahead and put right over the top, just so that I don't get any more paint all over. And the black matte paint, it dries really fast, so I'm able to work pretty quickly with the spray paint. So we're going to go ahead and do the tower now. Tower. Looks pretty cool. So we've layered it. I'm going to turn this around a little bit. So you can see this is the front of my book. What do you think? Pretty cool? So I'm going to let this dry for a few minutes, and then I'm going to come back and add a little bit more. So I'll just set that aside for a few. Okay, so I just masked off a little spot for my little bird stencil. And I went ahead and just used scrap paper around it so that I don't overspray. And I'm going to spray directly down, right onto my bird. I'm using gold. Just want to put a touch. And a touch on the stem. Perfect. I'll lift this all up very gently. And there we go. And now with what's really cool, and I don't think you can see it in the video, but because we've been doing layers and layers and layers of paint, the bird actually has a little bit of a butterfly, I don't know, like pattern in it, because part of the paper is still exposed, so the paint sunk in, so it's really kind of cute. And up here, I'm going to do a little bit of a pattern. Okay, so I think one of the last things I'm going to do is go ahead and add just a few of the little butterflies down at the bottom here in gold. Just a final little touch. So I'm going to go ahead and lay these down and hold it still, just where I want it. You know me, I'm going to get spray paint everywhere. Just a little bit of a touch. Not a lot of paint. There we go, we'll lift that up. Just to see a little tiny bit of butterflies down there, and just a little bit over the Eiffel Tower. And I think we're done. Going to be very, very cute. And I'll take some photos and show this to you after the video's over. See you soon, and hope you are having some fun with stencils and spray paint. Have a great day. Bye-bye now.